And we should be live right now, guys. I hope you're doing great. This is Florian here. Let me just know that my audio and my video is working correctly. Let's check here. This one. Let's just check. Write something in the chat box right here or right here where you can find it, so I can see that my audio and my video is working correctly. Because I tend to have some issues with YouTube of not displaying these live streams correctly and on time, so I just want to make sure that I'm not wasting my time. Let's check. Write something in the chat box on the left or right hand side to see if this is working correctly. Okay, just shows me that YouTube is not receiving enough data to make sure that this is to make sure it streams broadly. Okay, but I think that it should be working correctly right now. Just give me a 2 in the chat box, so I know that my audio and video is working correctly. So I know that YouTube is not fucking me over right here. And then we can jump right into it, into 7 secrets that will help you increase your immune system drastically. Okay, so it seems we got some people jumping on here. Yo back from me to you. It could be that the internet here is not working correctly, and let's just jump right into it in giving you 7 secrets that will increase your immune system regarding the coronavirus epidemic. Okay, so guys, voila, I prepared like a huge file here with all the information that you need, so you can strengthen your immune system today and frankly not be afraid of the coronavirus. Now, the number one thing, there are 7 things that you can do today to strengthen your immune system, but the number one thing that is the most important thing, we jump right into it, is to first of all get an objective overview of your health and of your immune system. Because what you want to do when it comes to such a sensitive topic, such a personal topic as your health, the number one most important thing is to reduce bias, is to get an objective overview of your health. Now the number one, there are 3 KPIs, but the first KPI that you can take a look at when it comes to your immune system and to your health is your body temperature. Now this is something very counterintuitive. Why would you take your body temperature to get an overview of your health? But it's a very good point, because it shows you immediate and acute danger of your health. Because what your body does when it feels that there's a germ in your body, or there's bacteria, there's a virus in your body, it increases its body temperature. Now, researchers for a very long time, scientists for a very long time, they didn't know why exactly your body would do this. So a lot of medicaments that we take is actually to reduce the fever that our body produces. But the thing is, actually what our body does by increasing our body temperature is to put our body in the most hostile territory that they can, because most germs out there, most bacteria, most viruses prefer a body temperature, prefer our normal body temperature or lower. Okay, so if our body increases the body temperature to 39 or 40 degrees Celsius, for example, it's an extreme fighting mechanism, like an integral fighting mechanism, a protective mechanism, so to speak. Which means if you take your body temperature and you realize that it's higher than usual, it's elevated, you have a fever, then this is the first indicator that your health is in acute danger, or it's not that great. That's, by the way, also one of the key symptoms of the coronavirus. It's just an increased fever. Your body is fighting against this virus. So this is the first KPI, and this just gives you an acute diagnosis that something is wrong with your body. Okay, and you can measure. I think everyone has like a temperature measurement device at home. So, but you usually feel the effects of having an increased fever. You feel slower, you feel tired, you feel fatigue. So yeah, but this is the first KPI I will give you. The second KPI is your resting heart rate. Now, why your resting heart rate? Because your heart rate essentially gives you an overview, and the lower it is, technically the better, unless there's some underlying issue. But the lower it is, technically the better, generally speaking, because it gives you a broad overview of how well your cardiovascular system is working. Your cardiovascular system is your blood system. It's your heart pumping blood through your body. Now, if your resting heart rate is high, for example, then what happens, it gives you an indicator that your cardiovascular system is not working properly. There are likely some plaques in your arteries, and your heart needs to work especially hard to pump all the blood through your body. So what you have to do when you have a resting heart rate that is rather high, you have to check if there are underlying issues that you're not aware of, and you certainly have to start exercising and doing cardio and reduce the cholesterol out of your diet. Okay, so follow a vegan nutrition and make sure that you do freaking cardio. Make sure you have as low as a heart rate as humanly possible, because frankly there's also good science indicating that your heart only has a certain amount of pumps that it can do before it dies off. Okay, so there's only a certain amount of times your blood can pump, because your blood is essentially like a muscle. So, and this pumping mechanism is the same in almost all animals. So if you have a lower heart rate, it means that your heart is essentially used in a less frequent way, which makes it more likely that you will live to an old age. Now the third key KPI, and this is frankly the best, the king of the KPIs when it comes to your health, when it comes to getting an objective overview of how good your immune system performs and how good your health is a blood test. And a blood test reduces bias 100%, and it gives you an overview of how well your body is actually when it comes to your health. Now there's certain things that you need to look out for in a blood test, and one of the biggest things is certainly C-reactive protein. This gives you an indication of your inflammation. Triglycerides, this shows you how much triglycerides you have in your bloodstream. Triglycerides is correlated with being overweight. Cholesterol, this gives you an overview of your cardiovascular system, and white blood cell count. Because if you have a high white blood cell count, it means that your body is fighting against something in your system. So I would recommend you to at least get a blood test every single year. Now, if you have never got a blood test, then right now is probably a good time to do it, because it gives you an overview of how good your body is actually when it comes to your health. Now, don't worry if you're under let's say the age of 30, for example, then likely your blood test is good anyway. But when you get to the age of 40, 50, 60, I would even recommend you to get a blood test every 6 months, just because you want to be on the safe side when it comes to the diagnosis of the early diagnosis of certain cancers. So I would recommend you to get a blood test every 6 months. And I remember when I went to the doctor and I told him, hey, I know I probably don't need to do a freaking blood test, but I'll come here every year to get a blood test. And he's like, that's really good. That's really good. So and I want the same thing for your doctor to tell you. And doctors don't make a lot of money out of blood tests. They usually make a lot of money out of diseases. So don't be like a conspiracy theory. There's no conspiracy theory going on here. Okay. It's still buffering a lot. We have a bad connection right here. That's weird, because my internet actually is like extremely good. Let's just check. Yeah, I just hope that YouTube gets it in order. The thing is, it's a true pain in the ass to stream on YouTube when it comes with the YouTube servers, because they're usually not really made for this. I'm not sure if I just unable to get it, but afterwards the stream will be uploaded on YouTube, so you can stream it there fully without interruptions. Hopefully, if the YouTube server gets its shit together. The second point of your immune system, how to strengthen your immune system in the most efficient way, is that 80% of your immune system is located in your gut. And what this means, it is located and it works with the help of our bacteria friends. Now, if you compare the blood, for example, the immune system of vertebrates, which means animals with spine, and you compare it with invertebrates, which means animals with no spine, we have a drastically different immune system. For example, if you compare the immune system of an ant with the immune system of a human, it's vastly different. What ants have, ants only have like an immune system that is general, while we have a general and an adaptive immune system. Adaptive immune system is what I'm talking about right here, because this is the reason why vaccines work, and this is also the reason why this is so important that we make sure that our gut friends are happy. Because one of the reasons our adaptive immune system responds is because some time ago, a couple million years ago probably, we decided, a couple 100,000 years ago probably better, we decided, or a million years, we decided that we would have bacteria in our gut. And the reason we have bacteria in our gut, because it helps us digest certain foods, and also because it helps us digest a certain food, and because it possibly helps us with the immune system that we have right there. That's why 80% of our immune system is located in our gut. Which means, how can you make sure that your gut favors the right conditions for your immune system? And you essentially have to make sure that you have the right bacteria in your gut. For those that don't know where the gut is, it's at your large intestine, so it goes along with your digestive system. Which means it is crucially important that we eat the right stuff, because the bacteria we have is the bacteria we feed. Just make sure the stream here is working correctly. Okay, seems to be better now. Okay. So the good bacteria thrives on a plant material, and plant material such as fiber, while the bad bacteria in your gut thrives on animal protein, generally like animal substances and sugar. So you have to make sure that you have the right bacteria in your gut, because if you don't have the right bacteria in your gut, this is usually indicated, like this goes along with high inflammation in your body. So just make sure that you eat enough fiber in your nutrition, and supplementing is not enough. So eat enough fiber in your nutrition, make sure you follow a vegan diet, and have a lot of veggies on your plate every single day. And every